Welcome back to another episode of Data Science at Home podcast. This is a special episode, of course, as you can see. I'm finally back with Dr. Eliseo Ferrante, faculty at New York University, Abu Dhabi, and Vrije Universiteit Amsterdam. Hi, Eliseo, welcome back to the show.
It is really a pleasure to be back. So many years have passed. How long has it been?
Oh, I don't know, more than 2 or 3?
More than 10, maybe. Well, it is more than 2.
I wanted to be an optimist. All right, so we are here because, well, first of all, Eliseo is visiting Brussels, which is, of course, the headquarters of Amethyx Technologies, sponsoring this show, as you all know. And, of course, I took the chance inviting Eliseo in this episode to speak about artificial intelligence and many other things, actually the future of AI, what do you think about AI, and of course, if the bubble will pop anytime soon.
Who knows? Or is it a matter of when? Or
Oh,
if?
wow.
We'll see.
Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, I would like to have indeed this episode as a conversation between two experts. One thing I want to make sure that the audience, I'm pretty sure the audience already knows, is that we have kind of different views from different perspectives to the same issue, let's say, which is artificial intelligence, from very two different point of views, which is one, the commercial one from myself, and more the academic research long term.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah. So it would be nice to combine these two views and take your presence and your opinion about this.
I think they do go side by side, but I would say we both love AI. I mean, this is the
Absolutely,
initial
yes.
disclosure. We are passionate about it, and we don't want to see it fail. So it's sort of, a guideline or our humble recommendation, our humble opinion about the field and about the phenomenon. Now it's a phenomenon.
That's true. Also because we come from a period that was more than 20 years ago when we studied at Politecnico di Milano, where artificial intelligence back in the days was like a very different thing, right?
I did miss the train, so that's a long story. But yeah.
Please share it with us.
Well, I mean, I was studying AI like you, and I wanted to do a PhD in AI. There was not enough money. Guess what? It was 2007. Maybe I had to wait 1 more year. Maybe go to industry like you, wait, No, I wanted to do academia as soon as possible. Well, I missed the train.
Not the right timing.
Yeah.
And now look how much money are they spending on AI. We know the usual folks here, the usual suspects, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, we will not make names today, right?
Why not? I was mentioning
Sure, but it's
OpenAI.
Adjective name, yeah.
Exactly. No, but it's true that it was a completely different period. Also, the perception of artificial intelligence, how it was perceived by people, was extremely different, very, very different.
In my opinion, we had to invent different names to survive. We went through a period of data mining, the period of data science. It has been AI all along. It has been machine learning all along. Wasn't really generative AI. Was it useful? Is it useful? I think this is part of our discussion today. I believe very much so. But that's not the type of AI we are celebrating today. What is AI? All this AI, that's, maybe we can start from that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I want to start from, not to brag about something I wrote personally, but it's something that I believe can drive a bit the conversation with the folks out there, an audience who might not be as technically prepared as ourselves. And of course, they still need to understand what we actually mean and what are the what's the potential of artificial intelligence, because these are the folks who actually use AI every day. And so it was pretty much about this. It was a very provocative article in which essentially I compare artificial intelligence to, blockchain technology. When it comes to blockchain, I usually refer to this type of, hyped technology.
How long did that last? Do you remember blockchain?
4 or 5 years, it was like the big hype.
And how long are we in the AI hype so far?
3, 4.
Only 3, 4? Okay.
Well, if we mean by large language models, probably like the culprit has been 3 years ago.
So is the bubble smaller? It's been a shorter time or not? How do we measure the bubble?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know to answer you, but I think that we're not yet at the 5-year mark that blockchain had.
Yeah.
If we really want to make that comparison, day by day.
You think there are cycles? 5 years?
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
Linked to what in business? Is it something in business
Ha,
related to?
there is in business there is this idea of the early adopters, the dreamers, and then there is like the actual stating the fact that that new technology probably is not adding
Yeah.
the revenue that you dreamt of.
I mean, even research projects are 3 to 5 years, and otherwise they are called flagships or
Right.
moonshots, and they are very rare, getting more rare,
Yeah.
to condense this much money. But in AI, we don't seem to have that problem, right?
We don't. Well, we also have this, like, definitely there are these cycles, but it's also true that there is a pump and not yet a dump on on the technology, to keep the terms of blockchain technology, pump and dump with tokens and coins. We keep seeing pumping in terms of hype and expectations, and again the usual suspects here, and that is, in my opinion, covering a bit, making so much noise, hiding the signal in the noise.
So I've been hearing lately that, especially in America, normal people don't really like AI. So they hate it. Why is that? What are they afraid of?
What do you mean by normal people?
People that are in the industry that work maybe entry-level jobs, or
Yeah.
so they are a little bit against
Yeah.
the mainstream, and I would say even against the politics at the moment. So what do you think about that?
I think that I know, I don't know exactly, but I have an opinion about that. It's when there is new technological shifts, some folks feel threatened by this shift.
Is it about jobs?
It's about job, it's about expertise, it's about replacement.
I see. Okay.
It's about the fact that all of a sudden you thought you were essential to that particular organization, and all of a sudden you don't feel you are any longer.
Yes, I'm hearing those stories. Well, I mean, we will comment also on our perspective if we are feeling that way.
Yes. So to go back to the
So
point.
who is the most afraid, and is it right to be afraid? So how do you think?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, to go back to the post that I published, and of course I will report some of the links in the show notes of these episodes, as always, on datascienceathome.com. It was a speculation about that the experts are very hard to replace. But let's say, managers and probably the CEOs, I make this provocative title, like, CEOs can be replaced. Now, by CEO, I don't only mean the actual CEO, but in fact, most of the executives and managerial positions, because they have this kind of soft skills, they don't really have technical skills, because
Do they have empathy, right? AI
some of
doesn't.
them do.
Okay.
Not all of them.
Is it required? Is it in the job description? or
It
not?
depends on the sector. But you get the point. Like, I think that what people are missing, or what they are not telling us, is that yes, AI can replace jobs. We don't know yet which jobs, but for sure there are more possibilities that the managerial positions are the ones
More chances. Yeah,
more
sure.
chances to be replaced. Well, don't you
And
think?
is it happening? I guess.
Not yet. I don't think they are publishing that much. They're not emphasizing, also because the folks who say that AI is ready to replace jobs are actually the CEOs and the managers.
But I would say then who is really afraid? I guess young people. And are they right in being so? Why do we think, I don't know, that entry-level jobs are replaced? I mean, there is, again, this fear that never, like today, it's very hard to find a job after studying. At least also in my universities, freshmen are afraid to select computer science as major because, oh no, this is, coding now is done by AI. I don't know who told them this.
Yeah.
And I have my opinion on whether it's true or not, and whether it's a good idea or not. I don't know if we should go into
About the coding.
about entry-level replaceability. I don't know. What do you think? Or
Yeah, please go ahead.
no. So I think that, well, indeed, an entry-level person will do a lot of mistakes when it starts. Is learning. DI is also doing a lot of mistakes. So if you have a position in which it is acceptable to have a lot of mistakes, you may want to, I don't know who will use the AI, but you may want the AI to do the task that would be instead advertised as a position for an entry level. So in that sense, the fear is real. Having said so, I don't think it's a very good idea, right? These people will grow. These people will learn in a very different way than AI learn. An expert, we keep it because it doesn't do mistakes,
Yeah.
right? We rely on him. It's our ground truth. And what do you think about that? So, what are the jobs that we really cannot get away from?
So yeah, that's a tough question, Eliseo. We start really hard today. So speaking about the coding work, the coding job, the job of the coder, I don't think that building software is just about writing code. In fact, that's the very last task that the implementation, right? So it's when we say it's a syntactical issue that we have. Back in the days, people learned, I don't know, we learned like 4 or 5 languages in a year or
the
so.
language of the language, right?
Yeah, and then the meta program. So once you learn your 5th programming language, the 6th and the 7th or the 10th programming language becomes a syntactical problem, right? Like take the book, spend 2-3 days learning the syntax, and you're pretty much done, right? But that's pretty much done is because you actually spent a lot of time learning the semantics of the language, the architecture, the computer architectures, memory management, and so on and so forth. Now, can an AI learn this stuff? Yes, but can an AI interact with humans and the requirements defined sloppily by humans and act on that?
And also combine requirements over time and merge with the prior ones, and that's when the prior ones have changed and when they are not changed. I find this is the problem. The building a complex system, not just a fast prototype. Yeah, sure.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
that's what maybe the entry level guy is supposed to do, to learn, not really to put things in production. Well, that's your word. I don't know if you agree with
Spot on this, because people think if you use Claude or ChatGPT, whatever, to code in a standalone fashion, like you have your Python module, Rust module, whatever, your context can include that module almost entirely. That's fine. You can have an AI that generates pretty decent code. Okay. The problem is that projects are not a single module thing. As you said, there is millions of lines of code and years of code written by other people.
And when there is a problem, maybe we spend more money in fixing it. I don't know if, again, AI, So I think people are realizing this now.
I hope so. Before it's too late. We come from a technical gap or technical debt with Fortran, for example. When
oh my God.
when all of a sudden we didn't have Fortran people, and guess what? Banks and mainframes still use that. So we have a big shortage since like 30 years now. I have the feeling that we're gonna follow kind of the same cycle and the same pattern.
That's actually a good analogy. Yes.
Yeah. Time will tell. Well, that's why we're making this episode, because we leave it there on YouTube, and then
Let's see what
we'll check it
people
out.
will say. Yes.
Okay, so Elisa, what jobs are safe actually?
Like you said, or like we said, no, the mid-level expert you rely on to solve the problem, to give you the advice, to mentor you, a mentor. Is it safe? It should be safe. I'm not saying it is safe. It should be, because we want to keep those people in the organization. Well, and then a lot of a lot of people also from academia are bored with LLM. They are saying we should not put all the money there. I think on this we are on the same page. And if we think about our parents, what did they tell us? The plumber eventually will earn more money.
So the handy jobs.
The handy job. Yeah, can a plumber be done? Can I call an AI to fix my pipes?
That's a good point. Well, wherever there is embodiment, we are like pretty much zero there.
We start with things that even our parents know, but indeed it's about physical intelligence, I'm calling it today.
Exactly.
Right? Well, there is the next or the current wave of investments in that. Is there the paradigm shift? I don't know. The attention, the transformer was the paradigm shift for languages. Language has been used for many tasks, even beyond languages. That's what we are observing. But what about physical AI? Do we have, maybe the corporate world is doing something. I mean, we see amazing models by Google and DeepMind. I mean, I really admire them. Still, is there a feedback loop with the real world? And what about the robots that have to do those tasks? My feeling in general is that you have a real innovation where a number of technologies are mature enough, they reach a critical threshold of maturity, and they're put together. You should not put them together too early. You have an example with VR, for example. The way we perceive the world, we perceive the distance from objects. If it is not as in real life, we feel dizzy and we don't want to use the device. You need, 4K. You need good IMU, good tracking system. All those technologies have to be mature enough so that when you're in the virtual world, you really feel you're there. You're feeling that you're embodying an agent. And if you don't have all those technologies at that level, we should not hurry. So just the fact of putting all the money right now into, one field instead of all those fields that are required, and the expert know which other fields are required for technology. I'm worried about that, putting all the money in one basket. That's my...
Yeah, I think that's kind of a business process where they want to squeeze the lemon to the last dollar.
It was lemon or the cow? Yeah.
Or the cow, milk the cow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to Italianize my expression. No, but that's actually very true. So also, I think we're kind of a point of no return in the sense that they already trashed so much money into this technology that now it's quite unlikely that people say, you know what, LLM are in fact quite limiting.
But there is something about repurposing, no? You told me once a story about what is useful about this money being invested. What can stay?
Infrastructure.
Exactly. So what do you think about that? Yeah.
That's so making a comparison. I think I remember when I told you that we have this bad habit or good habit of talking a lot offline.
Exactly. This is why I said, let's just, come to Brussels.
So we're absolutely improvising today. But okay, I think I remember what you meant, which was the comparison with the dot-com bubble.
Exactly, yeah.
So there we had like this boom. What happened? All of a sudden we said, hey, your business can be online. And this can be online, and your girlfriend can be online, and your family can be online, and everything can be online. And then nobody was online. And all of a sudden, actually, there was no concept of online. There was no cable. There was no Wi-Fi. There was no infrastructure. So what they did was like, okay, how can we fix this? Well, let's bring down the cables. And all of a sudden, what happened is that there was this increasingly effort on building an infrastructure, but not enough people online.
Yeah.
So paradoxically, there was kind of fiber channel, but not people, not users.
I think this process ended up eventually in a democratization, right? Connectivity reached, we went through phases. Eventually it reached all the population, also thanks to
Absolutely.
wireless. I remember your recent excellent video about democracy. And, right? So is it happening in the same way? I guess you can refer people to that video, but
I will definitely report in the show notes of this episode. But bringing a cable as an infrastructure is one thing. Building a data center that is probably obsolete in less than 5 years is a different story.
Yeah,
that's
cable. You invent a new transmission method and the GPU.
Exactly. So there is a difference, even though infrastructure is infrastructure, but it's a different type of infrastructure.
But the other difference is reaching the end user. The cable reaches the end user in a way or another. ADSL was the first technology, and the data center. For example, in the Middle East, there are big plans for data centers. From my usage perspective, many of these are still missing. The only selected providers are there, and so I'm worried about democratization. That's one thing.
Or reaching or reachability. Yes, but
your point was also about scaling up models. Everybody could do an AI model, but you cannot reach the scale of the
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, the democratization here is kind of killed by the barrier of the money that you need and the energy that you need to retrain, which is not democratic at all because, of course, only the big players can actually afford that type of retraining and building. The users can just provide the data, so keep generating data indefinitely by keeping connecting these models to their digital life, or can just download pre-trained models and then deal with that. So find other ways to we have fine-tuning, we have quantization, we have some other techniques that are more, let's say, approachable by people like you and I who don't have $25 million to train a model tomorrow.
So I would say, I mean, people are not happy about AI getting their jobs. What would they like AI to do for them? What are the needs? So
Well, in
what would you
business,
like? Yeah. Let's say business, but also, I mean, successful business reaches everyone. No, do you agree? I mean,
yes.
Those that reach everyone are successful business, maybe not vice versa, right?
I think that not all people are actually afraid or they don't like AI. For example, all the marketeers, they love AI. They don't have to do the things that they were used to do 3 years ago, like building advertisement and be quote unquote creative and automate a relatively creative job to reach their targets. Yeah. So these people are very happy, I believe. Some other people are not. Some other people are absolutely disappointed by AI. I think that in business, the driver is money. I'm not just thinking this. I strongly believe in this, and I believe that other people confirm. In business, money talks. So if you call it AI, you call it automation, you call it whatever, machine learning, whatever you like, if it's something that makes more money than I spend, it's something that is sustainable from a business perspective, and I can consider that for the long term. Otherwise, and this AI is not in that position. Yep. This AI is burning more capital than what it makes. More, yeah.
So, I totally agree. But as you said, no, we love AI, right? So what instead? What is the untapped potential? What could it do instead, right? So I'm thinking really, I don't know, I'm traveling to a touristic destination. What would I like AI to do when I'm there? I don't know, you're in Rome, you've seen the ruins. What can AI do in those ruins? I've heard of projects in that direction. They're very interesting.
Guiding you in the city?
I've heard projects about just reconstructing what Rome was 2,000 years ago. That's probably possible in VR. So those are, encouraging direction. You don't
so like augmented reality, this kind of
exactly things. And you don't really need, or you have the role of the avatar. You could have the Roman greeting you, the centurion, nice. Right? So and the guiding you.
Now we have real humans at the Colosseum, by the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Speaking about who can lose their job. Yeah.
They might not like that. Yeah. And these are authentic
you can
from
always
Rome.
Make the premium version for the for the AI lovers. But yeah, no, I'm thinking about a real application for masses or other our students, right? So do they like AI? They do. I can assure you. They use it in the right way. They don't. They ask bullet points to bring to the exam. That's not what we want. What do we want? So that's
yeah, that's a very good point. And to be honest, I wanted to ask you this question for a long time because you teach to students, and so you have seen how education has changed with respect, not having AI and now having AI. How do users perceive education now that there is like a ChatGPT in your pocket?
It's a discussion that is happening every day where I am. We have the mandate to embrace AI. We cannot say no. We have colleagues that say no. They cannot say no very loudly. So we find ways to say yes and find ways to, coexist, but in a way leverage from it. And, the starting point is what are for sure the bad ways to use it, and then let's build tools and let's, find ways to have AI collaborate with us, not, of course, replace us. Are we replaceable? That's all. This is also a job, right? So are we? Maybe yes, maybe no. I was touching on the topic of empathy for CEOs. I would touch now again on the
So, like, if
empathy.
professors can be replaced by AI.
I think empathy is a very big. Well, a professor can be teaching in a small classroom, can be teaching in a large classroom. That makes a difference. In a large classroom, I would be more worried. Hard to have models that are different from frontal teaching, and that can be sort of be done. In a small classroom, you take care of students one by one. Empathy is very important from the very beginning to the end. Grading requires empathy,
Yeah.
believe it or not. So you cannot just this is culture dependent. Where we studied, no, there was nothing. But so in that sense, we want the discussion we are having is that we want a collaborator. We do not
see.
want. I don't want to get lazier. I am getting lazy, but I don't want to get even more lazy. So I want a collaborator that enhances their experience, not somebody that is doing the job on my behalf. I don't know if they translate to every profession.
So can you give me an example of what do you think of this how would this collaboration look like?
So I'm hearing from especially senior professors close to retirement. It's I'm already feeling it right now. It's very hard for a professor to stop working, even if it's young or especially if it's old. You know about many emeritus professors, right?
Yeah.
So, but would they want to run to the classroom every day? No. Everybody's dreaming about the avatar. What do they want? They want their counterpart in the classroom, but it should deliver the lecture as if it was them. So you could let the avatar deliver the lecture, or you could embody. This is my thinking about a possible technology. You could embody the avatar, embody an hologram or a robot that is you, but you're not there.
Right.
You are having your retirement somewhere, hopefully nice with sun, and you deliver when you can. But if you want to have a coffee, the AI is taking over, and the students should not feel
autopilot.
Yeah, exactly. Actually,
Nice.
that's an amazing analogy. Autopilot with intelligent tasks. Piloting is also something. Yeah.
Autopilot that is definitely adapted to you because it's personalized autopilot.
This is the thing. It has to really capture personality. Language is a very good tool. You can already say some parts of personality are captured. I don't know to which extent you agree with this, but not everything, right? What do we need to capture personality? And what do you need to capture? Empathy and other parts that makes us human. If we can crack new technologies, new paradigm for that, Again, not all the money in the same basket. Different basket. Those that have not been successful for many years, maybe it's their time, because all the technologies around them that they were never combined are mature. So now that technology can work. For example, was reinforcement learning. It's finally coming back. When I was studying that, it was a very academic, grid work, right? The robot in the grid work. Now it's something completely different. Without reinforcement learning, we would not have GPT. Without reinforcement learning, we wouldn't have a lot of those.
All the DeepMind
exactly.
papers.
They are not yet product, but of course, they impress us for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and so I see your take-home message here is like, let's wait that each single of these technologies mature.
Let's invest. This is a call, right? Let's invest in. Let's discuss. Let's build an ecosystem. Let's be involved in this discussion and identify which technologies are promising. We should be aware of the trends, not follow them blindly. AI is important. What can make AI successful? What we want to avoid at the end is the winter, the third winter, right? It's an historical phenomenon. There should be really an history book.
Which it was actually. At least on the slides back in Polytechnic, we heard of the winter of what was the 60s.
Yeah, 50s and 70s.
50s and 70s.
Yes.
So
80s is the second one. Yeah.
The second one was in the 80s indeed. But I think that's part of the cycles that we were mentioning before.
And that winter created this phenomenon. When we started, I said we had to invent data science, we had to invent data mining. We couldn't talk about AI. I wanted to do AI. There was no money. It was a bad omen. We don't want to go there again.
And as a researcher, you were not taken seriously when you
Exactly.
spoke about
It's
AI
like thinking
mechanism.
of things that don't work,
Yeah,
things that require a lot of computation, a lot of,
yeah,
buzzwords. It was a
absolutely.
buzzword. Yeah.
It was a
We
buzzword.
don't want it to be a buzzword again. Or, yeah, I'm more happy if we call the current age generative AI, at least, if that sinks, only, limit damage. But I would prefer not to sink, so we need other technologies around.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I hope that many in the audience agrees on the same opinion and conclusion.
Well, if not, we will learn.
Well, we'll definitely want to hear. Of course, if there are other opinions, we are always happy to know them. And of course, you can visit us on our Discord server. And of course, if you surf datascienceathome.com, you will find all the other links. There is a newsletter, there is the Discord, so a very active involvement with the audience. That's what we love. Eliseo, what AI could actually not do yet?
Well, we have covered a bit this topic. Capturing the essence of big. This is very culturally sensitive, for us, for where we come from, capturing the essence of being humans. I think it doesn't really depend on our belief. It's our deep culture that I believe makes both of us think that that's not possible on the short term. And I guess we are coming to the big word to discuss the big word.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. And the other thing is the physicality, right? So right now, control. Let's take Boston Dynamics, state of the art. No question about it.
The robot dogs, and even the human,
Exactly.
the humanoid.
But can we say those are enhanced by generative AI? No, of course not. I mean, I believe not. I mean, we don't know exactly how they work inside, but because that's really the technical and academic limit at the moment, that's where at least respectable professor think we should go next. As we have tokens made of, well, let's take the vision transformer. We know that GPT can tokenize an image. Can we tokenize real world data of different formats and make them go to, well, to speak a technical language, to an embedding where things can be, represented in the same embedding, and we can re-elaborate, So I think this is the direction where at least academia believes we should go.
I think I see where you're going, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you are the academic here, not me anymore. So in a biological brain, you don't have text, you don't have video and audio or sound. You have signals. So you have neurons that activate, synapses that activate or deactivate, and they coordinate with signals.
Actually, this is a very good perspective.
Yeah. So what you're saying here is like, can we, let's say, pool all these, what we consider different signals in terms of text or video or images or into one single, let's say, quote unquote, language, which is the language of the brain?
Yes. At the very least, we need to encode the signal as their own token somehow. I don't know if token is the right word. I don't know.
Yeah, it's an
we have to
abused
process.
term. Yeah.
We have to process that data. I think the token is the equivalent of what the symbol was in the 50s, right? We had the symbol grounding issue. Now, the token is very well grounded to language, and language can do a lot of things because of the amount of data it's trained from. But, we know what is missing. I mean,
absolutely.
I hope we go.
No, these are all. I'm not saying hints. There is definitely people thinking, researchers already thinking about this.
Different things that we're not discussing.
Right. Okay. Well, I want to cover one thing that actually, for which I have a personal interest, more on a curiosity level, of course, not an academic level, which is all the stuff that is not, speak about LLM, of course, all the stuff that is not written. What do we do there?
Well, that's okay. So, it's a missed opportunity. That's how I see it. In what sense? We are saying AI, well, generative AI and large language model can process language extremely well. And yet, there are languages that are dying. And I don't see many projects dealing with that. Where I live, we already speak about Arabic. And, well, a huge sensitive matter where I live is the large majority of large language models being biased towards the Western culture. So, so they can speak Arabic, but there is a Western bias in the way they tell the stories. So,
Of course.
moving to capture the word of mouth, real stories told by those communities in that part of the world is important. But also the language itself, Arabic is not one language, it's a lot of dialects. But why I'm going to Arabic? Where we come from one of the most rich regions in Italy in terms of minority language, well, they are dialects. Unfortunately, really, I don't think people are caring too much. Our growth is not very good. A lot of old people, not a lot of young people. Well, where are we? Brussels, Dubai? We are not there. Don't speak the dialect too well anymore. Why can't an AI model be trained to preserve a minority language? A minority language, I think it's possible. There are a lot in Europe, languages that are protected and recognized as. But dialects, what about dialects?
Yeah.
That would be, I would say a next step. It's very close what we can do, It's just pushing our comfort zone a little bit beyond. If we cannot do that, we cannot really hope to go to physical AI because it is about capturing the signals, right? I mean, we are speaking a different language.
Yeah.
We speak in dialect now. We can give a demo, but and the
Maybe
tokens
next time.
will be different. But can we capture those?
Yes.
I think it's feasible, but it's not. Maybe financially, there is not too much interest into this.
Probably not.
I think from the European community there would be, but
Yeah, but I also found that many times, many things I understand in Italian or in other languages, they come from the dialect, and sometimes I grasp because I know the dialect, and then I say, oh, I think I've heard this thing before. Now, what does it add to my life? I don't know. From a business perspective, not much.
Culture,
Culture,
is,
yes, which should be the very first thing.
Yes,
in fact,
I believe
but
so.
these days it's kind of the opposite. Okay. Eliseo, we are unfortunately driving towards the end of this episode, which I would have definitely kept for much longer than this. I want to touch with you about another very important topic and very hyped topic, which is AGI. Artificial General Intelligence, and I already see your eyes, your face suffering.
It's exciting, right?
Yeah, what's wrong with that? Like
Nothing. I don't know. Who said dreams are not supposed to be ever realized? If the dream is realized, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you dream next?
I think that's what AGI should be.
Oh, I see. So it's the North Star.
I think so, but I'm a little bit sad. Well, first of all, again, I ought to admit, I don't follow so deeply, but very respectable people have invented this word. They have created tests and benchmarks for this. I have the impression that those have been reinterpreted and rewritten for a business or an agenda or something. I don't know if people have huge claim that AGI has been reached or of course it's always almost reached. And again, it is a cultural thing. Some culture will have a set of KPIs, of target figures that will be enough to reach AGI that are very different from what other culture would set as those measures. In my opinion, I asked this question to a very respected scientist to a conference, very well known. I said, isn't conscience one requirement for AGI, yes or no? The answer he gave me was 20 minutes long, with a lot of papers from him being cited. I wish I could remember that answer. I recorded it on WhatsApp, but
can you give us the TLDR of his answer?
I think he believed the answer was yes.
Oh, okay.
So he agreed with me. I don't think everybody will agree on this. Conscience may not be a requirement. And if it is a requirement, can we reach it? Of course, the answer for him was also, I understood it as a yes, in the sense that there was a citation to his paper from the 90s. Somebody in the audience may guess who this person was. He's a very famous scientist. But, and I believe that, of course, I respect the scientists a lot. But what do you think? Can we reach AGI? And why there is a business agenda about AGI? This is something I don't understand at all. Why AGI is important for investors?
So, we have an intruder here.
Hello.
All right. So, well, what I think of AGI, I think AGI is. I have to be quiet when I give my opinion because I'm always a bit rough and not filtered.
Well, that's what this venue is for.
That's why I created my own show where I can say whatever I want. No. With respect, I have to respect also the time and the effort of other people out there who believe in what they believe. I personally don't. I probably very much in line with what you just said. I think AGI has to be considered a North Star, an unreachable thing that has to be there because you want to feel like motivated. It's pretty much like you are on a diet, right? You will never get to losing 20 kilos.
I agree.
But having that, North Star keeps your calendar busy. And so it's like the ultimate ambition that will actually allow you to lose 10 kilograms instead of 20. But 10 kilos is already very good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They say aim for the stars, right? It's a very old
That's
saying,
it.
yeah?
That's how I see AGI.
Yeah.
It has to be there.
Sure.
But it doesn't have to be misunderstood as a business goal, a business objective, because that would be extremely dangerous. Because indeed, it's something that is not reachable anytime.
What if it was? I mean, this is my question. If it was reachable, what is the business use of that?
Well, there are many consequences of AGI, ideally.
Yeah.
One would be, for example, a radical change in society. Think about people don't have to look for a job because there would be AGI. If we had, I'm talking about hypothetically.
You always had technology raising. It should automate the jobs, and we don't have fewer people working. We do not have more wealth. That's a discussion that goes, in a.
Yeah.
There is something intrinsic in the system that requires people to keep on working. I'm not sure.
You think so? Well, I don't know.
It's called capitalism, right?
Yeah, it's. I don't know.
I'm not. I don't have a side on that, but it is a property of this system, and.
Well,
I'll let you continue this vision. So let's say
if it's AGI, I mean, I'm going by absurd. I don't believe again. A preamble. I don't believe this is going to happen anytime soon.
That's why we didn't prepare it. So let's see.
It's probably not going to happen. But what I think, if it ever happens by absurd, it would change not just the economy. It would change society on a radical level because. You need energy.
Assuming democratization, or even without the
it will change society even there. There is no more concept of democratization. Democracy is not going to be the concept that we know today. That's what I mean by radical change. Jobs will not be, economy, the wealth of nations will not be considered under those. It will no longer have these metrics. That's what I mean by radical change, and something that we cannot even explain because. Think about this. Now we have to work for energy to maintain these massive data centers, gigawatt and stuff, right? With AGI, the AGI will find, hypothetically, will find a solution to that problem, and so on.
But AGI implies also physical work for you. Or for them, I don't know.
For me it does.
It does. Oh, okay.
I don't know if they consider.
I
AGI.
always imagine it even only purely cognitive entity. Like in many sci-fi.
Well, then in that sense, then
Ultron.
humans will always stay.
Ultron, right? Still.
Yeah. So you have this brain that just gives you doesn't interact with the world on a physical level. Well, in that case, then in that case we have
I think that's compatible with the definition.
Yeah, GPT-15. All right. I guess that after this we can start speaking about philosophy rather than technical.
That could take us very far.
It will take us very, very far. So I advise us to stop here. No, this was great.
Our guest will stop.
Oh no, the cat is sleeping already, so he had to make his appearance. He already did, so
actually,
it's fine.
He's the landlord.
All right, Elisa, this was great. I hope I had a lot of fun to start with. Let's not wait another 10 years.
I agree.
To have the
I hope I'm needed here soon.
And I'm pretty sure that the audience of this episode enjoyed as much as we did not preparing this. This was absolutely not prepared. of course, we'll try to collect some of the most important links about your career and what you have touched from an academic perspective related
Really
to
grateful about that.
AI and AGI. So we're going to report some of these links in the show notes of this episode on datascienceathome.com. And as I said, same website, you will find many other links from the newsletter to the Discord server. And of course, every episode has its own list of references that, it's always nice to investigate and expand your knowledge. That's all it's about.
Thank you, Francesco. That's
Thank you,
amazing.
Eliseo. See you next time.
See you next time.